Qiao and Hao could clearly hear Lu Jinian as he occasionally tapped his phone, producing a soft sound. After some time, he locked his phone, slipping the room into complete silence. It was so quiet that she could hear his every breath. Qiao and Hao had leaped down too quickly. Even though she was in an uncomfortable position, she didn't dare to move much. Carefully, she turned, changing into another more comfortable position. Regardless of how cautious and small her actions were, she had still managed to disturb Lu Jinian. He turned suddenly, flipping over vigorously. Frightened by the fierceness of his actions, Qiao and Hao lay motionless, not daring to move. Lu Jinian seemed to be in a bad mood. He tossed and turned as though something was frustrating him. Qiao and Hao was unable to sleep either as she focused on him who was turning around restlessly. Suddenly, Lu Jinian yanked his blanket aside, sitting up fiercely. Qiao and Hao trembled in fear, shocked by his furious actions. Not daring to open her eyes, she remained motionless. Vaguely, she heard footsteps and the flicking of a lighter. Gradually, the faint smell of cigarettes drifted over, filling the room. As far as Qiao and Hao could remember, Lu Jinian was not a smoker. This was the first time since they married that he had smoked in front of her. She couldn't help wondering where he'd learned to smoke and when did he start. Lu Jinian sucked in 2 long mouthfuls before glancing over at Qiao and Hao, who was lying silently, and the teddy bear beside her that was larger than her. Straight-faced, he turned his head. He walked towards the balcony and pushed open the windows. After finishing his cigarette, Lu Jinian waited for the smell to dissipate fully before closing the door. He then walked over to the bedside. This time, after lying down, he no longer tossed and turned. Without Lu Jinian's constant movements, Qiao and Hao was still nervous, but the huge teddy bear in between them as well as her fatigue overcame her. Gradually, she began to relax, slowly sinking into a deep slumber. Qiao and Hao didn't know for how long she had slept when suddenly she felt someone roughly grabbing her hand. A mind-numbing pain spread through her entire body, and Qiao and Hao furrowed her brows, slowly opening her eyes. Just then, she saw Lu Jinian sitting by the bear, staring at her coldly. "Trying to seduce me when I'm sleeping again?" he snarled. Qiao and Hao's fatigue left her. She blinked her eyes with curiosity before lowering her head. She realized that she had unknowingly stretched beyond the teddy bear into Lu Jinian's side. She tried to shrink her hand back instinctively, but Lu Jinian clenched it tighter, not allowing her to escape. With a tone laced in ridicule, he asked, "Why? You want to sell your body for another role now that the previous one is over?"